But right now on the phone with me, I have singer John Pagano. I was saying Pagano, but he corrected me. It's Pagano. John Pagano, welcome to the Time Machine, my man.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. Pagano, you saying it great now.
Pagano. I got it down pat, so how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you taking the time out to do this interview. We're worldwide.
My pleasure.
We are worldwide, because there's a lot of people that want to know, you know, what happened to John Pagano. And like the 93 record, which we'll get into later, has a strong following among New Jack Swing fans, especially overseas.
Oh, man, that's good to know. That's good to know. See, that's news to me.
Now, let's go ahead and get this started. How'd you get your start singing?
I got my start singing, man, because I started playing guitar at around 9 years old. And just about a year into that, I just attempted to sing one day, and it didn't sound too good. The whole family kind of laughed at me, you know. But I got a little upset, went in the room, and just started working on it, man. Next thing you know, I sounded good, and they started encouraging me, you know.
Okay, now, where were you brought up? Where did you grow up?
I was brought up in Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
East Coast.
Okay, now, what was the scene like out there growing up in Rhode Island, which I believe is the smallest state, correct?
It is the smallest state in the union, yeah. Well, the scene there's a big music scene, even though it's small. It's like a little city. It's not like a little town. A lot of people get that confused, but it's cool. It's a big music scene, a lot of jazz. You know, Jeffrey Osborne is from Providence, Rhode Island, and I played in in high school. His nephews all went to my high school, and they had like an 8-piece R&B band, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they heard me sing and play guitar, and they wanted me to join the band, you know, and they just got a lot of influences from being in that band. Definitely stirred me into going into R&B. You know, I listened to a lot of Peabo Bryson and Donny Hathaway and, you know, Stevie and Jeffrey and people like that, and just that's kind of where I went, you know. And I started a band with my brother. He's a drummer, and it was like a R&B band, and we used to play in the actually in Albany, New York a lot, and Mike Tyson used to come into this club all the time and hear, you know, my band, and he really, really liked my voice, and one night he asked me to sing him asked me to sing backstage for him. He didn't think that sounded like what I would look like. It didn't sound the same way, you know. So I sang for him, and he just was really blown away, and he asked me to sing a national anthem at one of his fights in Las Vegas when he fought Frank Bruno in like 1990. And, you know, from there, somebody really important was in the audience and signed me to a record deal.
Okay, so this was before Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas, right?
Oh, this is when Tyson was really Tyson. Yeah, this is when he wasn't losing at all.
When he was Iron Mike.
At this point, yeah.
Iron Mike. So he was like, John, I want you to come sing for me for one of my fights, man. You know, Doc, he will pay you and everything, and you know, I'll let you come into the ring and all that. You know, I'm very ludicrous.
That's exactly what you did.
Yeah, but that's how you scored your deal with MCA, right?
Yeah, imagine that. If it wasn't for Mike, I mean, you know, because we became friends. He used to come in here. Whenever my band was playing in that club, he would come down and check it out. And then when he asked me to do that, I said, sure, you know, and he took care of everything for me. And he flew me out there and put me up in a nice hotel, and I sang. And, you know, and it was really cool of him to do that, man, you know. I mean, he's only done good things to me, so.
Right. And in the words of Don King, only in America.
Only in America. You got that right.
Now, what was it like working on that first debut album on MCA?
It was a very cool experience as far as the music and the people that I got to work with and the producers that I learned from, and you know, that was still a learning stage for me. And I even did some songs with George Duke, you know, and they didn't get on the album, but I got to work with a lot of great producers and got to meet a lot of famous people like Burt Bacharach was considering writing some songs for me, and which is how I eventually just ended up. That's what I do right now is I tour with him whenever he goes out. I'm his lead singer, you know.
Okay.
So, lead male singer. It's me and two females, you know, and they sing all the classic hits that he had that were female. I sing all the male stuff, you know.
Okay, the master of standards, Mr. Burt Bacharach. Can't get no bigger than that. Now, how did you manage to hook up with R.Kelly? Because he did the remix for Let's Get To It, the swanking club version, which is like, with New Jack Swing fans, this is like a killer cut.
All right, man. Well, that happened because, you know, I was I was the only artist on MCA that was signed to the R&B division, you know, and at that time everything was coming out with like Bobby Brown and everything like that, you know, and MCA had a lot of that stuff that was going on that was doing really, really well, and you know, they were in contact with all the right producers and all the people that were doing that stuff, and they really, really wanted to try and put, you know, a white guy out doing that stuff. That was their thing, you know, and I was the guy that they had chosen to do it with. So So they were getting people like, you know, like R.Kelly and stuff to go ahead and remix. I was real honored to have that done, man, you know, but he did the whole remix on it. It was just a lot of power at the company, and they really, really believed in me at the time, you know.
It was definitely, you know, post-public announcement, kind of like around the time when 12 Play was about to come out, right, when he was working on that remix.
That's right, that's right.
Okay, and when I first heard the track, I was like, this big booming voice kind of got the Rick Astley effect, where it's kind of like, you know, this dude singing soulful. Now, there's another cut on the album called Masculinity, which is another strong cut by NJS Lovers off the album. Tell me a little bit about that cut.
Oh, that's great, man. I did that cut with a guy named Howie Rice, and Alan Rich actually is one of the writers on there too, who you know, he wrote, I believe, the lyrics to I Want to Run to You for Whitney Houston, you know, on the Bodyguard soundtrack. And Howie Rice, just a great producer, man, guy that really, really just knows when it's right and knows when it's wrong. And we all decided we wanted to get together and write a song that kind of had that vibe to it. So we just went for it, man. A lot of good memories doing that album, you know.
So basically it was like a lot of long nights in the recording studio, a lot of Chinese, a lot of John. I will need you to hit that note above middle C, low F, and do it again. We're going to, basically like P. Diddy making the band, we're going to be in the studio all night until we get it right?
We did, man. But I got to tell you, I loved it, though, man, because I knew it was for my project, it was for me, and I wanted to get it right, you know. I didn't want to have anything go out there that wasn't perfect, you know.
So what was it like when that album was done and then, like, they hear the, like, reaction from the people for it?
Oh, man, it was really, really good, you know. But unfortunately, you know, a lot of things go down behind the scenes in the record business that a lot of listeners, you know, don't know all about. But one of the things that happened, and one of the big problems with my CD, was the guy that signed me was the main guy at the label. And by the time my record came out, he wasn't at the label anymore, you know. And the people that replaced him kind of knew I was his baby, because I was his baby at the time. He was putting, you know, doing all the right things to make the CD. But I don't think that they supported it the way they should have and put it out, you know, and really, really blasted it out there, you know. So that was one of the things that was kind of unfortunate about it. One of the fortunate things was certain places really got to hear it as little as they did, and they were able to get it. And I remember doing a show in Minneapolis where I sang The Best I Ever Was, which is from that CD that Barry Mann wrote, the same guy who wrote Just Once. And it was being played like second to the Whitney Houston song, you know, I Will Always Love You, in Minnesota at the time, you know. So that was a really, really cool experience to go up there and sing it and, you know, just see people knowing the lyrics and all that. It was really, really cool, you know.
So it was like a regional record.